Oh, thank you, Coffee Girl. Wow. See, this is why we do a sound check. I've been talking to myself for the last 50 seconds, and we have 33 in the chat. How about that? 33 in the chat. You guys see that? Does anyone else see it? I'm glad you guys can hear me now. Um, yeah, that's why we do sound check, because I was talking to myself, and then Coffee Girl let me know she can't hear me. So thank you, Coffee Girl, for that. But yeah, that's why I always do a sound check every time because sometimes we will miss it. So, anyways, as usual, guys, today is February 27th, 2026. This is a live stream, and I hope all of you guys are having a great day. And thank you to everyone who's already in the chat. Please hit those like buttons if you enjoy the content. Yeah, it says 55 now, but there was 33 when I first went with my voice. It was 33 in the chat. So that's crazy. But anyways, now it says we have 57, which is the gematria of moon. So that's interesting. I swear sometimes these numbers are, moon equals 57. It keeps showing me I have 57 in there. So we'll see how long that stays. Oh, now we went to 61. Anyway, we're just playing around now. But anyway, let's talk about this blood moon coming up. I see some people are still behind in the live stream chat because somebody's saying, am I talking yet?" I think somebody is still behind in the chat. So hopefully he catches up. Aaron Warren, he's asking if I'm talking. But yes, I am talking now. So anyway, let's talk about this blood moon, March 3rd, 3-3. Of course, anyone who knows anything about occultism and anything about anything in this esoteric occultist world, they know how important the number 33 is. We know in gematria, police equals 33, Masonic 33. Every time there's a news story, it's always connected somehow to the number 33. Guys, if you guys want to drop your 30, if any of you guys remember anything from any stories in the past that had 33s, please feel free to drop that in the chat. I can't remember. I know there's so many of them, but off the top of my head right now, I'm having trouble. But I know there's so many. Okay, and I'm going to focus a lot on the Charlie Kirk connection because the last blood moon we had was Charlie Kirk incident. Okay, you guys remember how big that was? So we're coming up on another blood moon, and are we going to get another incident on par with the Charlie Kirk incident? And of course, I'm going to show you how the Charlie Kirk incident was tied to the blood moon, how it was tied to the number 33, and how also it's this upcoming blood moon on 3-3 is tied into that as well. And what we're going to speculate on some things that could possibly happen. Of course, we have the Iran stuff going on right now. So any day you could have something break out in Iran, or you could have something else happen. Who knows? But again, these blood moons are significant. This is, and first of all, let me explain what the significance of this blood moon is. This is the last blood moon for 10,000 or 1,034 days. Okay. So if you see over here on the left side of the screen, I have the two dates in here from March 3rd coming up. The next blood moon total lunar eclipse will not be for 1,034 days. Okay, so this is a long period of time to not have any blood moons. What's interesting about this 1034 days is it's a number I've looked at many times. Some things that equal 1034 in gematria: wealth equals 1034, Ripple XRP equals 1034. You guys know how much I talk about that cryptocurrency. This decode is not about Ripple XRP, but I'm just telling you guys that there's 1034 days after this coming blood moon till the next one. That's a long time. And we're looking at the number 1034 in gematria. Okay, wealth equals 1034, Word equals 1034. Jesus came as the Word, right? Other things, medical marijuana, 1034. Righteousness, 1034. There's a lot of things that equal 1034, and I think it has something to do with wealth, okay? Interesting that red dawn equals 1034, considering we're talking about a red blood moon. So yeah, there's a lot of things that could connect to that number, but that's not the point of this stream. I just wanted to really point out that it's going to be a long time until the next blood moon. So this leaves us with an understanding that, something may happen with this last blood moon for a long time. So anyway, once again, guys, don't forget to hit the likes if you enjoy the content. We got 103, we got 34 likes. Thank you guys who have already come in and hit the like. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, let's just talk about why the number 33 is so significant and why it connects to eclipses and blood moons. There's a lot of other reasons too, but this is just the basic thing. So we also just had the Mexico thing happen. The Mexico incident, that Mexico equals 33. So there's that as well. But yeah, March 3rd, 3-3, right? In gematria, the word eclipse. Okay, so this is a blood moon, but it's an eclipse, okay? And in gematria, eclipse equals 33. And when you type in sun, moon, and the sun and the moon are involved in eclipses, the word sun, moon combined equals 33, okay? Now, not only is the date of the blood moon on 3-3, it's also on the day in the year, which leaves 303 days. So if it's not a 33 connection, I don't know what is. I mean, 303 days left in the year. The date's 3-3. I don't know how much more threes you can get here, okay? And there's an eclipse, right, which equals 33. So this is also what they call a blood moon. So take a look at the two words, blood and moon. They have the same gematria. Blood equals 21, moon equals 21. Now, not only does 2 plus 1 equal 3, right? So if you type out the word blood, it gets 21. That's 2 plus 1 is 3. You type out the word moon, it's 2 plus 1, it equals 3. So it's kind of like a 33 here. But also, the number 33 is the 21st composite number, okay? So again, you got a blood moon on 3-3 when 33 is the 21st composite number, and blood and moon both equal 21. I make of it what you will, but this is a very pretty clear alignment in my opinion. And not only is this all about the 33, but you'll notice over here that this eclipse is going to occur in Saros cycle 133. So you have another 33 in there. You can't say the number 133 without saying 33, right? So that's the gist of the significance of the 33, right? And this date and how it might connect to all the other things, right? So on besides that, okay, we have to go back to, we have to look at where this eclipse is going to be visible. So this eclipse is going to be visible over the center of the visibility is essentially over the Pacific Ocean in the Ring of Fire, okay? So, yeah, Maggie, you're talking about Kobe Bryant. Kobe equals 33, and I'm going to talk about Kobe. Wait until you guys see how this lines up with Kobe Bryant, but notice how Kobe equals 33, right? Okay, notice how Kobe equals 21. Remember, 33 is the 21st composite number. So we're going to talk about Kobe in a little bit, and about, I found a connection with Kobe here. But anyway, this eclipse is going to be visible over the Pacific Ocean in the Ring of Fire. You notice how the main visibility of the eclipse is in the Ring of Fire, okay? And this to me is interesting. Are we going to see some volcanoes on Hawaii? Remember, in gematria, Hawaii equals 33, like New York also equals 33. But this, again, the visibility of this eclipse is mainly over the Pacific Ocean, which Hawaii sits right in the center of that, essentially. I mean, not directly in the center, but pretty close. So you have the 33s here. Hawaii literally equals eclipse. So I would say, something, watch out for possibility. This guy on YouTube, Stefan Burns, he was talking about how there's possibility for a volcanic eruption, which is not uncommon on Hawaii, but it's something to look out for. You could see a story like that. But Hawaii being in the center of this is interesting, considering it equals 33. But now we need to go back to the last blood moon. Okay, so before this one, we had a blood moon on September 7th, 2025. Now, what's so significant about this blood moon on September 7th? Well, what happened 3 days? Okay, what happened 3 days after the blood moon, folks? This is why this is so significant. Again, the last blood moon was all about Charlie Kirk. Okay, remember how big that was? I know that everyone has recency bias and everything kind of just fades away out of people's memory, but I don't think people remember how just crazy and how big the Charlie Kirk story was. And I know that everyone's tired of it probably by now, but I mean, this was one of the craziest, most connected stories in our recent memory. And remember, the blood moon was all signaling this. The blood moon happened 3 days before Charlie Kirk was shot. And guys, look at the gematria of blood moon. It equals 105. Charlie Kirk equals 105. Now remember, a blood moon is an eclipse, which equals 33. Now in gematria, masonry, of course, we're talking about Freemasonry, masonry, 105 and 33, like blood moon and eclipse. Okay, so tying to the masonry, but remember the 33 is tied to masonry, right? The 33rd degree, all that other stuff. But remember, the suspect in the Charlie Kirk case, which was all tied to the blood moon, it was a 33-hour manhunt. I mean, you guys remember the joke of this, the 33-hour manhunt? But guys, look at what happens when you type in 33 hours in gematria. 33 hours equals 33. And that's a new one, actually. I'd never seen anyone else point this out. But 33 hours equals 33. I mean, come on, what's the odds? 33 hours equals eclipse, which equals 33. And again, 3 days. You guys get it? 3 days after this blood moon was this 33-hour manhunt starting, okay? From the time Charlie Kirk was shot to the time that supposedly was captured. All this is in quotations, guys. We don't know what really happened here. But again, this just leaves the significance of the 33. And in one of my last decodes, I talked about how the March 3rd date is Purim. And Purim is the Jewish holiday, right? So don't be surprised if we get some sort of connection with Israel. Again, what's Trump doing? What's the United States doing right now in Israel and Iran? Well, this is kind of what you get here is you get this Jewish connection. So, I mean, is something going to happen over there in the Middle East? I mean, I would say that's the most likely scenario. But what do you guys think? Let me hear in the chat. Who's got some 33s in the chat? Just Jesus supposedly died at 33. Yeah, exactly. 3 times 11 is 33, right? The pandemic was declared on 3/11. 3 times 11, 33. I just picked the most recent one with Charlie Kirk because it was the most recent blood moon. It was the most recent 30, big 33 event. I mean, obviously, it wasn't just about 33, but you can see they did a 33-hour manhunt. So it's obviously Don't forget police, just to go over here, police equals 33, right? Masonry 33. What else? I mean, president equals 133. Okay. White House, okay, White House equals 133 and 137. Now, what's 137? 137 is the 33rd prime. When was Trump supposedly clipped in the ear? When was Trump supposedly clipped in the ear, guys? On 13/7, the 13th of July. Okay. So you got that. You got all those 33s. Order equals 33. Right? 33. I showed you earlier Kobe equals 33, that big Kobe stuff, there's so many, but the point is we've nailed the 33s by now, okay? So now that you guys got that in your heads. And again, remember the last blood moon was a big event 3 days later. Okay, so are we going to get another event 3 days later? I'm not saying that. Or are we going to get one 3 days before? Tomorrow is 3 days before the blood moon. So let me just show you something about tomorrow that is super interesting. Let me go over to the... So if you look up the date 2/28/2026, okay? Tomorrow, again, is 3 days before... tomorrow is 3 days before the blood moon on 3/3. But tomorrow is 2/28, right? You can write the date... you can write the date 2/28, okay? That's on the Gregorian calendar, okay? But I've been experimenting with other calendars, folks. And what I can tell you is tomorrow is super interesting because on the Islamic calendar, tomorrow is 9/11. Let me let that sink in for a second. On the Islamic calendar, tomorrow is the 9th month and the 11th day, 9/11. Now, on the Hebrew calendar, tomorrow is 6/11. So let that sink in. And guys, just so you guys know, this does not happen often. I don't know if this has ever happened. Has it ever happened that the Hebrew and the Islamic calendar have lined up with a 6/11, 9/11 connection on the same day? I mean, you guys tell me. Yeah, I have the Julian calendar on here. This new tool that was created by Kate has all the calendars. If you guys want the Julian calendar, tomorrow is 2/15 on the Julian calendar. Okay. But the point here is, let's go back to this. Tomorrow is 9/11 on the Islamic calendar, and it's 6/11 on the Hebrew calendar. Okay, that's pretty crazy. I challenge you all to go find a time, a date where this has ever happened before. I don't know if it's ever happened before because these calendars don't line up they're off. They're offsetting because one of them is a lunar calendar, one is a lunisolar calendar. So, and of course, the Gregorian calendar is also a solar calendar. So it's not often when you have the Hebrew and the Islamic calendar lining up with a 6/11 and a 9/11. Okay. And again, remember the 9/11 is all about the Solomon's Temple, obviously the Twin Towers. Think about the Islamic connection to 9/11, okay? And think about how 6/11 is the upside down 9/11. So I'm just saying, this is super interesting tomorrow, and it's 3 days before the 3/3 blood moon. So that's what I'm just saying. We could get news. I mean, I would not be surprised if something happens with Iran tomorrow, okay? Because this Islamic Hebrew connection. But now I just want to go over some things, some crazy synchronicities that have happened prior to this blood moon coming up on 3/3. So check this out, guys. 33 days. Okay, so here's two people that died on January 29th. Okay, and these are famous people from other countries. One of them is from Portugal, like portal. So the guy's name is João Canijo, and he died on January 29th. You guys might be like, okay, Cody, why are we talking about a guy who died on January 29th? Okay, well, let me just stop you there. Hold on a second. Well, here's another lady from Israel who died on January 29th. Okay, her name is Tal Berkovich. All right. Now, these two actors have something in common. They both died on the 29th of January, but they also both are known for movies that have the word blood in them. In fact, if you look up this producer or this director, João Cangio, one of his most famous movies is called Blood of My Blood. Interesting, huh? Talking about a blood moon, right? So the other lady that died on that day, her name is Tal Berkovich, and she was also famous for a short film called In the Blood. Notice she's wearing a red dress in this picture here. So what are the odds? They both died on January 29th. They both have a common connection to a movie with the word blood. Now, I'll give you guys one guess how many days they died before the 3-3 blood moon. Let me see if anyone in the chat wants to take a wild guess on how many days they died before the 3-3 blood moon. I'll wait because it's not hard. I know you guys are smart enough for this. Somebody said 88. No. Not 88. Yes, 33. Yeah, okay. 33 days, guys. So the two people that died on January 29th both have movies connected to them with the blood moon. Blood of My Blood was by this guy, and Tal Berkovich from Israel was in the movie In the Blood. Okay? Both of them died 33 days before the 3-3 blood moon. Now check this out. On January 29th, when Tal Berkovich died, and in Chaldean gematria, her last name, Berkovich, equals 33. It was 33 days before the 3-3 blood moon, okay? Not only was it 33 days, on the day she died, she lived for 41 years, 5 months, and 3 days. Well, 4153 is the 571st prime number, and 571 is the 105th prime number. So you could say that the age of which she died on breaks down to the number 105. Well, what does blood moon equal? 105. What are the odds, guys? Her age on the day she dies was 33 days before a blood moon. She starred in a movie called In the Blood, and she died the same day as this guy who starred with a movie Blood of My Blood. And she just happened to be, on that day she died, she happened to her age breaks down to the number 105, which is blood moon. 105. Now, check this out. The other guy that died, this first guy, João, he also died 33 days before the blood moon. Okay? But look at this. Not only did he die 33 days before a blood moon, folks, the dude was born 33 days after a blood moon. Are you coding me? This is undeniable, folks. I don't care what anyone says. The guy died 33 days before the 3-3 blood moon. He was also born 33 days after a blood moon. Eclipse 33. So you guys see how important this is? We're making very clear, easy connections here. This is not reaching. This is This is making a clear connection that what's running these deaths is connecting to astrological alignments like blood moons. And again, he has a famous movie called Blood of My Blood. So think about that. So he dies 33 days before the blood moon. He's born 33 days after a blood moon. Now, before we get into the rest of it, we need to know that 33, when you spell it out in gematria, it equals 66. In the Francis Bacon simple cipher, which is the Old English language, eclipse equals 66. Okay, so 33 plus 33 is 66 as well. But there's a connection here with the 33 equaling 66. But this is mind-blowing, folks. Look at this. I just showed you he died 33 days before a blood moon, and he was born 33 days after a blood moon. But check this out. Now that we know that 33 is also tied to the 66, look at this. This guy released a movie called Blood of My Blood on October 5th, 2011. Guys, what happens when you type out the date 10/5 or October 5th? It equals 105, like blood moon. He released a movie called Blood of My Blood on a blood moon, and it's on 10/5, and blood moon equals 105. But look at this. He released his Blood of My Blood movie 66 days before his birthday in 2011. But guys, it wasn't only his birthday. It was a blood moon. The year that he released his movie called Blood of My Blood, it was 66 days before his birthday, which was a blood moon. Are you coding me? In Chaldean, the name of his movie, Blood of My Blood, equals 66. Is that not mind-blowing, folks? Like, considering what I just showed you here with his birth and his connection with the blood moons and the 33s, and it just so happens that his birthday was on a blood moon the year he released this movie, Blood of My Blood. And it was 66 days before, which is the gematria of eclipse, which is the gematria of the name of the movie, Blood of My Blood. I mean, just wild. Also, if you go from the release of Blood of My Blood to his death, 14 years. Well, 14 is interesting because when you type in the word dead, it equals 14, right? 14 is a huge number with the word dead, okay? So he's dead 14 years after his movie, Blood of My Blood. He's dead 14 years, 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days. And of course, he died 33 days before the next blood moon on 3/3. But yeah, 14 years, 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days. You got all the threes there, right? Kind of like pi. The last blood moon before the Charlie Kirk blood moon was on Pi Day last year. Remember that? But now here's a very wild connection, okay? Kobe equals 33, okay? Remember? Let me just show you that one more time. Kobe, 33, like eclipse, like the date of this blood moon. But look at this. Kobe Bryant, and shout out to the Illusion, who's mentioned this many times. Kobe Bryant had a 6-6-6 workout, 6 hours a day, 6 days a week, 6 months a year, okay? But we already knew that Kobe Bryant lived for 497 months and 3 days, okay? 497 months and 3 days. Well, when you make that into a number, that means Kobe Bryant lived for the 666 prime. You guys see what I'm saying there? 497, 3 days. So this lady who just died 33 days before the eclipse, like Kobe equals 33, she died at the exact same age. Guys, the exact same age as Kobe. Can I get some mind blows in the chat? What is up with this? What are the odds? I mean, who lives the exact same amount of age as Kobe? And she died in an accident. Let's look up her cause of death. What happened to this actress? Actress Tal Berkovich killed in a road accident. How did Kobe Bryant die? I mean, it wasn't a road accident, but it certainly was an accident, supposedly. So I want you guys to tell me how crazy that is. But remember, I mentioned that she came out with a movie called In the Blood. And look at when her movie, In the Blood, came out. January 25th, 2020. When did Kobe Bryant die? He died one day after her movie came out, guys. Are you coding me? She died at the same age as him. And her movie that I'm connecting to came out one day before Kobe crashed in a helicopter. And let's not overlook the fact that they both lived for 497 months and 3 days, which is the 666 prime, guys. Oh, my thing is blocking the text. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I hate these things, man. So, guys, I mean, just look at what you're seeing here. And now we have all these ships aligning in Israel to possibly attack Iran. And look at where this actress was born and died. She died in Israel. She was born in Israel. She's also born in August. Kobe Bryant, guys, she was born 4 days after Kobe Bryant's birthday. But again, Kobe Bryant had the 666 workout. He lived for 497 months and 3 days, which is the 666 prime. And so did this lady. Okay, she also died on 129, which is the upside down of Kobe's 126. You know, if you take the number 129, she died on 129. Kobe died on 126. If you flip these numbers upside down, right, it's essentially the same number, right? So that's interesting. But I just thought that was wild. And then her movie came out one day before he died, like literally one day. But let's just show how Kobe is so important with blood moons. Look at this. Now, what is the number that Kobe is wearing on his shirt here? 24. Well, what if I told you that Mr. 24 himself was born 24 days before a blood moon? Is that a coincidence? Considering everything I've showed here, that this guy that just died 33 days before the 3-3 blood moon, he was born 33 days after a blood moon. He released a movie that equals 66 days before his birthday, which was also a blood moon. But is it a coincidence that Kobe wore the number 24 and he was born 24 days before a blood moon? I mean, you guys decide what you think about that, but that can't be a coincidence. I'm sorry. Especially that we just showed you that Kobe equals 33, like Eclipse equals 33. He died right after LeBron James eclipsed him in points. Or was it points or games played? I can't remember now. I'm not as up to my Kobe stuff as a lot of people are. But yeah, anyway, Kobe born 24 days before blood moon, wore the number 24. But here's another one. And guys, I'm just showing all of the blood moons how the blood moon connects. All the blood moons connect to everything. So look at this. When you think of a moon, you think of the song Bad Moon Rising, right, by CCR. Well, what are the odds that the song Bad Moon Rising was released 666 days before a blood moon? Coincidence? I don't think so. So yeah, I mean, Kobe with the 24 connection with the blood moon, and then the Bad Moon Rising with the 666 days. I mean, what's the odds? Out of all days, it could be before. They just happened to release it 666 days before. That's the last slide I have. But the point is, what I wanted to show you guys here is how this connects to the deaths in the news just 33 days ago before the 3/3 blood moon. And again, I showed you that with this guy and with this girl. And we connected it with Kobe, right, who has that 33. So now we're going to look ahead. Remember, we also looked back at Charlie Kirk and how he died 3 days after a blood moon, and Charlie Kirk equals blood moon in Gematria. And it was a 33-hour manhunt. 33 hours equals 33. So now I want everyone in the chat to give me their best guess of what could, what this blood moon could possibly bring us. We have the Iran thing going on. We have Purim with the Jewish holiday. I just talked about this Jewish actress who just died in a freak accident. To me, it seems to all be pointing to Israel. Excuse me. It all seems to be pointing to Israel and Iran. Maybe that's what this blood moon is really signifying. But remember, tomorrow is 3 days. We're probably definitely gonna see some actors or actresses in the news for passing away. I hate to say it, but like that's just how. Sorry guys, I had to sneeze. I don't know what's come over me right now. But yeah, anyway. I told you guys that tomorrow is 6/11 on the Hebrew calendar, and it's 9/11 on the Islamic calendar. So that's 3 days before. That's also something to keep an eye on. But on this channel going forward, yeah, Iran equals 66. I talked about the number 66 in this chat. Well, look at this, guys. Iran equals 24. Iran equals 66. Two numbers I talked about in this chat so far. So, I mean, yeah, the last blood moon brought the Charlie Kirk thing. So what's this one going to bring? And maybe, I don't know if it's going to be as big as the Charlie Kirk thing. Maybe it'll be bigger. I don't know. Somebody says Kamini equal, however you say that guy's name, Kameni equals 66. 66 is a huge number, guys. I mean, there's 66 books in the Bible. The whole Charlie Kirk thing was all connected to the 66 because it was all about Charles, which equals 66. I mean, the word woman equals 66. The word lunar. We're talking about a lunar eclipse. Well, actually, guys, look at this. Lunar equals 66, 21, and 33. Remember, 33 is the 21st composite number. So 33 is the 21st composite. 33 plus 33 is 66. When you type out 33, it equals 66. So you got that connection. It also equals 60. And this 141, and it equals 156, which is the 9/11 is the 156 prime. So yeah, I talked about that, how tomorrow 3/3 is also 303 days left in the year. Okay, here's my slide about the 33. 303 days left in the year on 3/3. 33 days before the eclipse, you had all those deaths connected to these this actress that died, who, her movie about the blood in my blood or whatever. And then I showed you how Mexico, Mexico just happened. That equals 33. So there's that as well. I believe Texas has some of these similar numbers too, 66 and 30. And Eclipse equals 69, like Texas, like Mexico. So I mean, maybe this blood moon thing the other day was. I'm sure that this Mexico thing was synced with the blood moon on 3/3. And I would think it would have had to have been. So yeah, maybe something else with the Mexico stuff. What else? Also, this eclipse falls on Holi or Holi. I'm not sure how you say that, but it's a Hindu festival called the Festival of Colors. You guys can see that it falls this year on March 3rd. So and this doesn't happen often. It also falls on Purim, which is the Hebrew holiday. So you have this day being, 3/3. To be honest with you guys, I don't know if I want to talk about it so much yet, but on 3/7 and 3/8, I'm looking for some sort of news once again to connect to King Charles and Prince William. Guys, there's a huge connection going on 3/8 with Prince William. I'm not going to get into that here. I've talked about it a bit before. Maybe I'll have to do another video on that at some point. But the point is that I'm also watching 3/8. But yeah, this holiday also syncs up with the blood moon. And again, I already showed you Purim. Also syncs up with this blood moon. Somebody said in the chat that this is all about Queen Esther. And if you type in Esther in Gematria, it equals 33. How about that, folks? Thank you, whoever in the chat dropped that comment. I had noticed it. But guys, look at that. This Purim is all about Esther. And Esther equals 33. So there's another one. All right, I got my eyes on the chat. We are going to please hit that like button if you think this is informative. So my only hope with these streams, guys, anymore is to learn with you. If you guys learn from the streams, that's all I hope for. Okay, just learning, growing in understanding of certain things, numbers, history. That's what I like. I like learning. Okay, so hopefully you guys also learn from the streams. And I learn from you and you learn from me. We learn together. But if you are learning, don't forget to hit the like button so we can get this learning out to more people. Ishtar, somebody's mentioning, yeah. Esther, Ishtar, yeah, I get what you're saying. Easter, right? Your grandma's name is Esther. Well, hello, Esther. Hello to Pale Horse Rider. Thanks for being a member also. And guys, just a reminder, I appreciate everyone who becomes a member, but if you become a member on YouTube, YouTube takes a whole bunch of your donations. So the best way to support the channel is at the link at the top of this chat, buymeacoffee.com/decodingwithcody. But Pale Horse Rider, I appreciate you a lot. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, Esther escapes from Haman Barak. Yeah, and I talked about Hawaii in this decode, and of course, Barack Obama is supposedly from Hawaii, but if you want to believe that. Agent 911 says yesterday, 3/3/26, yesterday was the 33rd anniversary of the World Trade Center. Yeah, that's a great point. Guys, that's a great point. So 2/26 yesterday was the 33rd anniversary of the World Trade Center bombing. And the Twin Towers stood for 33 years. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's a great, great connection. Barak equals 33. Does it? If you spell it that way. Huh, look at that. Barak equals Kobe. You guys see that? Interesting. Remember, Barack, there's a city in Japan called Obama, and there's also a city in Japan called Kobe. That's the first thing I think of when I think of Barack Obama and Kobe Bryant. Both have cities in Japan named after them. Japan also has the 15, like Kobe, like Barack. Also has so Japan has the 42, like Iran. Also, this 30 comes up a lot. You guys have probably seen that a lot in the stream already, the 30. So yeah, there's a lot of overlap. Let's see. Let me get back into you guys' chat here. Somebody says drought equals 33. There's a drought all over the U.S. Is there a drought? I thought they just had a huge storm go through the U.S. Are you talking about in the West or in the East? Because I know they just got like 2 feet of snow in the Northeast. Maggie McCombs, Esther, Divine Feminine, establish her. That's interesting. That's a good observation. The word establish is abbreviated as EST, and her is like her. Establish her, 126. That's a good observation, Maggie. Interesting. Nor'easter, right? Yeah, we just had a nor'easter. Esther, Easter, Ishtar. Let's see. What else can we talk about here real quick? I'm kind of going through the comments, but let me see if I have anything else on my table. Oh, I want to talk about the 3-3 date because we already went over how tomorrow is 9/11 on the Islamic calendar and 6/11 on the Hebrew calendar. That's interesting. But if you go 3 days later, check this out. So on the Hebrew calendar, the blood moon is on 6/14 on the Hebrew calendar. Guys, whose birthday is 6/14? Trump's. So that's interesting. Remember, Trump was born on a blood moon. Forgot to even mention that. Trump was born on a blood moon. But again, the blood moon this year is on 6/14 on the Hebrew calendar. So it's like Trump's birthday. Well, what is it on the Islamic calendar? 9/14. What's 9/14? Well, 9/14 is the new Pope's birthday. Right? So what are the odds that 3/3 blood moon is on 9/14 on the Islamic calendar, which is the Pope's birthday, and 6/14 on the Hebrew calendar, which is Trump's birthday? Huh. Another interesting sync, right? That doesn't happen. I challenge anyone to go back and look whenever that has aligned like that. And the fact that it aligns on the year right after we just got the new Pope from America, whose birthday is 9/14, and again, on the Islamic calendar, the blood moon is on 9/14. So the fact that that lines up like that, it can't be a coincidence. And look, if you let me take away this here. Hold on. I find it interesting too that there's 163 day of the year in the Hebrew calendar tomorrow on the blood moon. It's the 163rd day of the Hebrew year. Okay, so I think this is super. Raise your hand in the chat if you guys like this there's something super significant about these Hebrew dates and these Islamic calendar dates. I think I'm proving it in this live stream, but again, I've already been looking at this for the last couple days, looking at events and how they align with the Hebrew calendar and the Islamic calendar. And so I know it adds more variables into the mix because now you're looking at 3 different calendars, but the problem is that these things clearly align. And again, like I said, on the blood moon, it's just not it's not a coincidence that it's 614 on Hebrew, 914 on the Islamic. And again, there's just a lot of interesting things with these calendars. So I'm just putting this out there because you're going to be seeing a lot more of this. We're always trying to take our decoding to another level. Thank you guys for all giving the raised hands there. So I think, to me, the calendars are super important. Even more than the calendars and the moons and the all that are even more important than just gematria connections. Okay, like this channel is not just a gematria channel. It started out when I first started this channel, it was a gematria channel, but now gematria is secondary to me. Okay, of course I use a lot of gematria, but gematria is in a way secondary. I prefer the date durations, the dates, the calendars, the names. It has to all fit. The astrology, the moons, whatever you're talking about, it all connects. And the numbers are just another asset part of that. But we're always trying to take our decoding to another level here and find more clear, especially for seeing into the future as well, because seeing into the future, possibly me seeing this here, that the Islamic calendar blood moon is on 9/14, which is the Pope's birthday, it might give us more clues as to the significance of some of these things. And again, I've already showed you in this decode how, you have all of these. I showed you how Bad Moon Rising came out 666 days before a blood moon. Okay, and then Kobe Bryant wore the number 24 and was born 24 days before a blood moon. If you guys missed this stream, you got to go back and watch, man. This Israeli actress died at the same exact age as Kobe Bryant, which is the 497 months and 3 days, which is the 666 prime. And her movie In the Blood was released one day before. I don't know how well you guys can see that. It was released one day before Kobe died in a plane crash, and this woman died in a car crash. So, and then again, this connects us to Israel. And look at her birth year, 1984. And of course, when you think of the year 1984, you think of the dystopian 1984, right? You think of J.D. Vance was born in 1984. LeBron James was born in 1984. And LeBron James is the one who passed Kobe right before he died. So is it a coincidence that this actress is so tied to Kobe and she's also born in 1984 when LeBron James, who passed Kobe? But yeah, it's super interesting. And anyway, yeah, and we showed how this blood moon connects to this guy who died 33 days before the blood moon. He was also born 33 days after a blood moon. So all these things are significant, and we're not just trying to contain ourselves in one method here. We're trying to expand our horizons and learn more about how coded this reality is. And we already know it's coded, but the reason I continue to do this, everyone, just so you know, is that I like to be like a child. Everything is profound to me. Yeah, we know it's all coded. You could say it's all boring. You guys could all get tired of this if you want. But at the end of the day, to have the mind of a child is to always be wondering and seeking more clear connections with God and with Christ, and also understanding what's going on. And this is what I enjoy. I like learning, and I like expanding my learning. And so that's what this channel is about. Wait a minute. Hold on. I already just caught something here. Okay, look at this. See, look at this, guys. So, you know how I told you that the 3/3 blood moon is on 6/14 on the Hebrew calendar? Well, if you take the date numerology of the Hebrew calendar year on the 3/3 date, it's 14 plus 6 plus 57 plus 86. That sums to 163, okay? Now check out the day of the year on the Hebrew calendar that day is. It's the 163rd day of the year. So not only does it have 163 date numerology, it's the 163rd day of the Hebrew year. Now check out how many days the 3/3 blood moon is before the next solar eclipse. It's 163 days. So we have 163 connections connecting to that date based off of the Hebrew calendar. Okay. Again, date numerology 163. It's the 163rd day of the year, 163 days before a solar eclipse. So again, what are the odds? And 163 is the gematria of Charles James Kirk. And 163 is the 38th prime number. And 38 is the gematria of death, murder, killing, RIP. But also Barack Hussein Obama, since somebody, we can't leave this out. Could be something here. Barack Hussein Obama equals 163. So super interesting how that date aligns with that number on the Hebrew calendar. Again, we're looking at a different calendar. So the 3/3 date, the blood moon, we're looking at the Hebrew calendar, which is the 163rd day of the Hebrew year. That's in 163 days before the eclipse. Let me just see if I've had any recent 163s come up. Yeah, I mean, I pretty much share with you the ones that I can think of. I don't know if anyone else has any 163s. But that's not so important. Let's go back to the chat. Hold on. Hello to Morgan. Glad to see you in here, brother. Hope you're doing well today. Yeah, good one, Visionary Vet. That's a great reminder. Pizzagate, that equals 666. We'll just type that in just to show it. Shout out to Visionary Vet. Pizzagate, 666. Check out how Pizzagate equals 105 in bacon. Like blood moon. But yeah, 111, like Hawaii, like New York, equals Donald Trump. Donald Trump equals 48 in the same cipher as Pizzagate. I'm not into the Epstein stuff. I'm so sick and tired of, oh my gosh. I don't know. I mean, I'm just a bit tired of this Epstein stuff. Today, Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton were in the news about the Epstein stuff. I don't know what they're doing. Let's just check CNN right now, see if there's any breaking news. And then we're going to wrap this up. Yeah, see, the top headlines are always something with this Epstein files. Bill Clinton, the 42nd president. I mean, why are we talking about the 42nd president right now? Like, you think it might be because Iran equals 42? You think it might be because war equals 42? You think it might be because the 42nd state, Washington, just won the Super Bowl? Is this like a foreshadowing? Why is the 42nd president in the news? Is it all about the war with Iran? You know, that's what I think. But you know, you got the Bill you got that Bill connection, Bill. You know, William. I've been talking a lot about the William, because you know you had William Henry Gates out there in Seattle, and you got Prince William. But not really anything. Has anyone seen anything? Any big stories today? Nothing really going on today specifically, except this Epstein stuff. Bill Clinton denies knowing women in jacuzzi photo. Okay, great story. Oh, I forgot, guys. Tomorrow's a 6-planet parade. Yeah, I mean, so I just showed you guys how tomorrow is aligning with the Hebrew and Islamic calendars, but there's also a 6-planet parade tomorrow, right before this blood moon. So you got this astrological event tomorrow as well, 3 days before the blood moon. With that being said, guys, I think there's not much more to really touch on this topic, and I think this video has gone on long enough for what I had to say. But before I get off here, does anyone have any final thoughts on any possible connections with the blood moon? I'll give it 2 minutes if anyone has any quick thoughts, and then we'll wrap it up. You guys know I like to get you guys involved in the stream, so somebody Agent 911 says 2 days after 3-3 will be 333 days since Wayne Gretzky's goal record was beaten. Interesting. I definitely covered that. I remember covering that last year on April. I know there's some things I probably missed here, but I think I've touched on the main topics. God bless you too, Maggie. Much love to you, and thank you so much for all your great info and your positive attitude always, and I appreciate you. Thank you to Sojourn for always being here. Appreciate you as well. Thank you to Coffee Girl for always helping me start the stream out. If you guys go back to the beginning of the stream, don't forget that I was talking without my volume on for the first 50 seconds. So make sure you guys don't go. If you guys don't get, you guys are wondering why there's no sound. If you guys go back and watch, it's because I fast forward to the 50-second mark. I start talking there. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Maggie's saying something. Tomorrow is 33 days from Kobe's death. Okay. Interesting. And 137 after Charlie Kirk's. Huh. The 33rd prime number. So yeah, guys, I'm telling you, tomorrow could be interesting. I mean, is tomorrow the day we finally get the Iran invasion or the something with Iran? 33 days from 3-3 is Easter? Okay, well, that makes sense. I mean, that makes a whole lot of sense, guys. 33 days from the blood moon on 3-3 is Easter, which is all about Jesus and the 33 stuff. 3 days and 3 nights, 3 days. His ministry was 30 years, and then he was 3 years. He was crucified at 33 in the year 33. So, yeah, that's some great additions there at the end. Shout out to guys. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Gematria Book on YouTube. Let me see if I can quickly pull up his. He's been putting out some great stuff, and I really just want to shout him out again. Make sure you guys go check out Decoding Our Reality as well. This channel right here. He's also made a video today about the iPet goat stuff. This guy's live right now, and I guess maybe expecting a Iran attack. The U.S. USS Ford aircraft carrier expected to arrive. Huh. Signs that U.S. might attack Iran in the coming days. Guys, if they're doing it now, it's probably either going to happen tomorrow or right around the blood moon. I mean, it just seems logical. Don't forget to head on over to Ball Don't Lie's channel where we do the iTie podcast every Tuesday. Don't forget to subscribe to him as well. Also, Widow's Son. Haven't seen him around in a while, but don't forget to subscribe to Widow's Son over there. Always doing profound work. And who else? The Illusion. Guys, you guys need to go support the Illusion, man. He's always putting his I'm not saying you guys don't. I'm just saying he's always out there making great lots of videos, and he gets discouraged sometimes. So make sure you guys support him as well. Gematria Book. This is the guy I'm shouting out. Make sure you guys go check out his last video on the King William stuff. You guys know I've been talking about that, but make sure you keep an eye on his videos as well. All right, so I'm not going to shout out everyone. You guys know there's a lot of other people I could shout out. Zenith of the Alpha, another channel. He just did a video today, I think. 7-1. Dr. Savage. Dr. Savage is always making great posts. Oh, yeah, and I just wanted to say, guys, look at this. So Zach did a decode on how the Dalai Lama was connected to Kurt Cobain. And look at what Gematria Book did. He completely blew Zach's decode out of the water. I mean, Zach's decode, it wasn't like horrible, but I mean, look at this. From the Dalai Lama's birth to Kurt Cobain's birth, 11552 days. Crown chakra, 115 and 52. The key is the connection to the crown chakra, the gateway to nirvana. Like he played for Nirvana. So yeah, guys, make sure you guys go check out his posts. This was a great one. I love this. Great connection. I love the way you do I love the way you do your dates, durations, and your gematries. I just it's so good. And again, shout out to Sean, the way he does his dates and stuff as well. All these people are doing amazing things. So anyway, have a great night, everyone. Don't forget to hit that like button on the way out. And I will see you guys very soon with another decode. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. God bless. We'll see you next time.